At 82, Robert De Niro has reached the kind of age where reflection feels inevitable. After decades of shaping modern cinema with some of the most intense and psychologically complex performances ever seen on screen, he has begun speaking more openly about the actors who quietly influenced his craft. Among them stands a figure many younger audiences know only from classic films, but whom De Niro considers one of the most important models of screen authenticity, Robert Mitchum. De Niro's own journey began in New York City, where he was born in 1943 to two accomplished artists, painter Virginia Admiral and abstract expressionist Robert De Niro Sr. Surrounded by art and intellectual debate from childhood, he developed a deep respect for discipline and creative honesty. As a shy boy nicknamed Bobby Milk, acting became a way for him to express emotions he struggled to share. Training under legendary teachers Stella Adler and Lee Strasberg, De Niro absorbed the foundations of method acting, imagination, emotional memory, and total commitment to character. His early films in the late 1960s hinted at unusual intensity, but everything changed when he began working with director Martin Scorsese. Their collaboration on Mean Streets revealed De Niro's raw energy, while his portrayal of young Vito Corleone in The Godfather Part 2 earned him an Academy Award and announced him as one of the defining actors of his generation. Soon came performances that reshaped modern acting: the alienated Travis Bickle in Taxi Driver, the tormented boxer Jake LaMotta in Raging Bull, and unforgettable roles in The Deer Hunter, Once Upon a Time in America, and Heat. Each performance carried the same hallmark: psychological depth and fearless commitment. Even as he surprised audiences with comedy in Meet the Parents and Analyze This, De Niro never lost the quiet intensity that defined his career. Later collaborations with Scorsese, including The Irishman and Killers of the Flower Moon, showed an actor whose power had deepened rather than faded with age. Beyond acting, De Niro helped shape the cultural life of New York by co-founding the Tribeca Film Festival after the September 11th attacks, supporting independent filmmakers and revitalizing downtown Manhattan. Yet even with all these accomplishments, he still looks back at the performers who quietly taught him what truth on screen really looks like. That is where Robert Mitchum enters the story. Known for classics like The Night of the Hunter and Out of the Past, Mitchum built a reputation as Hollywood's most relaxed leading man, someone who seemed almost indifferent to fame. But De Niro says that image hid a deeper discipline. According to him, people misunderstood Mitchum for decades. They thought he didn't care, when in reality he cared deeply about authenticity. His genius, De Niro explains, was restraint. In a business where actors often push for dramatic displays of emotion, Mitchum believed the most powerful thing an actor could sometimes do was nothing at all. He trusted stillness, silence, and the subtle power of the camera. That philosophy resonated with De Niro, especially during his early work with Scorsese, where quiet tension often mattered more than dialogue. Mitchum never chased sympathy or tried to explain his characters. Instead, he allowed ambiguity to exist, trusting audiences to feel the emotion rather than be told what to feel. De Niro now recognizes how radical that approach was. Mitchum resisted Hollywood's expectations, avoided publicity, and refused to conform to the industry's rules. Yet that refusal made him unforgettable. For De Niro, the lesson was clear: longevity in art does not come from pleasing everyone, it comes from remaining faithful to instinct. Mitchum showed that acting is not about performing for the audience, but simply existing truthfully within a character. Watching Mitchum's films today, De Niro says he notices a quiet sadness beneath the surface, an emotional depth that never announces itself yet lingers long after the scene ends. So when De Niro finally speaks the truth about Robert Mitchum, it is not scandal or revelation, it is admiration earned over a lifetime. Mitchum, he believes, proved that greatness in acting does not always shout. Sometimes it whispers. At 82, after a career that changed cinema itself, De Niro understands that legacy is not built on volume or spectacle, but on authenticity. And in that quiet mastery, he sees Robert Mitchum as one of the true giants who taught him that if the emotion is real, the camera will find it.